don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure that they remember forever the night they played the Titans. What?
How about them Cowboys? The margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Not today. Losing today was not a problem. Dallas Cowboys win in dynamic, dominant fashion in Cleveland, 33-17. Thank God I was wrong. I had to roll with it. Hey, I like it when I'm wrong in this way. But the Dallas Cowboys, again, we've gotten some answers. We've gotten some answers here. But first half was dominant. Second half, there's a lot to clean up. And we're going to break it down. But I don't see how you could go on the road against a team who, with the #1 overall defense last year, we're talking a dynamic defense with the defensive MVP, who did have some success today, but Tyler Guyton, rookie left tackle, a lot of the haters said he's going to struggle, he's going to cost you. You took a step back on the offensive line. I ask you, I don't think so. I think we're only going to get better. Again, a lot of room to grow here. But let's get into it. Let's get into inside the numbers. We'll get inside both of the teams' numbers, and we'll go from there. But very happy with the outcome, obviously. One thing, we're all holding our breath. Early returns are it's a bad sprain, but he will have an MRI. Jake Ferguson, the tight end extraordinaire for the Cowboys, coming off a great season last year, was expected to have a big year. Hopefully it's nothing more than a sprain. He said he thought he could come back in the game if he had to. So that's a good sign, but you never really know until you get that MRI. But let's look at inside the numbers here. Inside the numbers, we got Dak Prescott, 19 for 32, 179, and a touchdown. More importantly, no interceptions. Here we go with this crap. I don't know why it's doing this all of a sudden. More importantly, no interceptions. It wasn't a complete game by any stretch of the imagination. It really wasn't. But they did enough, especially early on. He was lights out. Dak was. 85.3 quarterback rating. Nothing exciting. They didn't run the ball in the second half. Most of these numbers were first half numbers. Zeke averaged 4 yards a carry. This is what I was trying to tell people. That's the one thing we could, come away with. What's going on here is that they didn't have a complete game by any stretch of the imagination. Yet they went in and in the first half took the will of the Cleveland Browns. We're going to start on the offense, but we'll get to the defense. Zeke averaged 4 yards a carry, 10 for 40. Rico, 8 for 26. CD had the 3 sweeps. Brandon Cooks receiving. Like I said, they didn't really get going too much in the second half at all. So this was all pretty much first half. 5 for 61. Brandon Cooks, 4 for 40 with a tutty. Jalen Brooks had the 1 for 18. Hunter Lepke. Jalen Tolbert had 1 for 12. Jake Ferguson, 3 for 15. Very average numbers. I mean, average numbers, nothing to really write home about, but they were mainly first half stats. Cleveland, Sean Watson, 24 for 45 for 169. 1 touchdown, 2 INTs. We sacked the quarterback 6 times with that defense everybody thought that we were going to struggle with. Well, at least all the haters thought that Dallas was going to struggle. I told you Dallas's defense would have been is going to be better by the end of the year. It's funny, after one game already, I'm sure those people were sitting there going, I mean, it's going to take a catastrophic injury. We're only going to get better. Bland is not even there. We got rookies that are only going to get better. Kalen Carson. But again, this defense is going to be better than it was last year. May not have the turnovers. Now, we had 2 today. We had 6 sacks. We gave up 3 sacks. We did give up 3. But again, that's a nasty defense that we were playing. Jerome Ford, 12 for 44. They were without Nick Chubb, and they were without their offensive tackles. I mean, let's keep it real. They didn't beat a 100% Cleveland team, but you know, again, this is the same team that most of the people were, Hamid was saying Dak was going to get killed because Tyler Guyton was going to suck. Well, you were wrong, Hamid, unfortunately for you. Sorry, brother. Deshaun Watson was our next leading rusher, 5 for 39. It seemed like we had 6 sacks. We could have had 10 or 11 sacks. We just couldn't wrap our hands around Deshaun Watson. Receiving Njoku. Njoku, 4 for 44. I had him on one of my fantasy teams. I didn't start him. He went out with an injury. I believe it's an ankle. Jordan Akins, 3 for 27. Jerry Jeudy, 3 for 25. Amari Cooper, the human seatbelt, 2 for 16. Elijah Moore, 3 for 9. We shut him down, people. We shut him down with an ACL and injured Trayvon Diggs, a rookie corner, and Kalen Carson, and Jordan Lewis. I even saw Israel Mukwamu out there trailing. He wasn't the best. I'll keep it real with that. But let's look at the defense. DeMarvion Overshown, 11 tackles, 5 solo, 1 sack. I think that's 1 fumble. Is that fumble? Oh, no. Tackle for loss. Sorry, tackle for loss. 2 QB hits. Eric Kendricks, 9 tackles, 6 solo. So Overshown's already leading our team in tackles after week 1. You know what I'm saying? DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law had a big game. 5 tackles, 2 sacks. Eric Kendricks had 2 sacks. Overshown had a sack. Micah Parsons had a sack. Micah could have had 3-4 sacks today. It's crazy. All around, real good game. Eric Kendricks had an INT. And, oh, by the way, Trayvon Diggs had an INT. He's going to take time to come back. They didn't even throw his side. They didn't want to go near him. So, again, he passed the eye test. Is he back 100%? Probably not. More than good enough to lock up Amari Cooper or whoever the Cleveland Browns the offensive wide receivers. Kavontae Turpin had the kick return for a touchdown. Big. Was that no, that was the punt return. Sorry. The punt return for the touchdown. Huge. Finally, he broke through. And all due respect, Brandon Aubrey is probably the best kicker in the league. Dallas's own. They found him. He hasn't been playing American football. He didn't even play it in college. He was a soccer player. Crazy. Brian Anger, the punter, averaged 49 yards. I didn't think had a very good game. He had a couple of short punts. But going to the stats, the team stats, I think this is where you're going to see it gets to be dominant. Let me. This is where it gets to be dominant. Team stats, total yards. Now this is why I say Dallas had 220, around 200 at halftime, like 220. Dallas was dominating at halftime. They didn't do much in the second half. Adjustments, Cleveland had the better of the adjustments. We just made Cleveland more one-dimensional, and they had to go for it a couple of times on fourth down, which our run defense was there with the three linebackers. Mozzie Smith played well. Again, there was no glaring issues on defense. We did well. We got 2 turnovers. We each had 15 first downs, but like I said, a lot of that was garbage yards for Cleveland. Actually, Cleveland ended up winning the time of possession. So, again, first downs, 15 each. Passing 8 each. I mean, we did nothing in the second half. 33-17, and we did nothing in the second half. That's impressive. Rushing first downs, 7-5. First downs from penalties, we didn't get any, but Cleveland got 2. Third down efficiency, we definitely have to get better on that. 4 for 14. Total plays, Cleveland had more plays because we seemed like we scored. We didn't have any long drives. We were very efficient. We out-yarded them. Total number of drives were the same. So, again, the numbers don't tell the tale. It was a dominant victory for the Cowboys. And I think this bodes well going forward, getting this W. I had this as a loss for my wins-losses. So, right now, I had the Giants winning. They lost. The only game I had right in the division was the Washington Commanders losing, and they got thumped in Tampa. Tampa looked good. So I think it only helps Dallas. So it's looking more and more like last year after 1 week. I mean, I expect these teams, especially Washington, to get better. But it's really a 2-team race, and I think it's going to come down to health. Who is going to stay healthy? Health is wealth. I think Dallas's defense is just going to get better and better, and is dynamic. I think the offense, Brandon Cooks looked really good again. Again, they did most of their damage in the first half. There's going to be growing pains with that offensive line. They didn't run the ball in the second half with the lead like I would have hoped. Again, we got to just remember who we're going up against. That's a very good defense, and we put up 33 points. I know we had a kick return for a touchdown. We didn't have any pick sixes or fumble sixes. We put up 33 points. Dak was very, very efficient in the first half. Very, very exciting. Just looking ahead to next week. Looking at next week here, I want to see. Yeah, let's see. Dallas. Dallas' schedule. I know we come home next week, 1 o'clock at AT&T Stadium against the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints put up 47 points today. 47 points for New Orleans. My God. 47-10 over Carolina. I told you Carolina wouldn't be very good, but that is disgusting how good. So we're gonna have our work cut out for us going up against the Saints, but we are at home. I think it was more of a situation where they took advantage of Carolina, but it's hard to argue. They put up 47 points. That was a dynamic performance. So you kind of don't want to play New Orleans now because they're hot, but you know what? It is what it is. You play who's on your schedule. So we host the New Orleans Saints for our home opener and the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me pull up their schedule here. I believe they're Monday night against Atlanta, I think. Week 2. Yeah, the Thursday night game is Buffalo and Miami. This Thursday, I'll probably stream that. I will stream that one. Probably stream tomorrow night as well. Monday Night Football. Dallas is hosting New Orleans next week, and the Eagles are the Monday night game. So you get a nice break at the Link hosting the Atlanta Falcons, who did not look good. I expect everybody was saying how great Atlanta was. Atlanta did not look good, people. Atlanta, let's see, what was the final score today? The Atlanta Falcons lost to the Steelers 18-10. They did not look good at all. So I expect the Eagles to win. You should win that. You should blow them out, right? So you should be Atlanta. We have our work cut out for a team who put up 47 points in the New Orleans Saints next week. Let's see if we can get the W. But that's it, people. I'm going to cut this short. I'm not going to make this a long and drawn-out video. Dallas wins. We're all holding our breath for Jake Ferguson to make sure he's okay. Dak Prescott, again, as I stated earlier, is in the fold. He is the NFL's highest player as of right now. Dak Prescott in the fold. Everybody said that he was going to go. Wrong. Philly 500. Wrong. Dan Sileo, who said Dallas is going to win 5 games. Well, we only have to win 5 more to shut him up, right? Yeah, we all knew that was all troll and BS bullshit. But, all right, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Man, telling you this. We're definitely them boys, and I will talk to everybody later. Just remember. Late.